oh, what are you doing from this time to this time? Okay, I understand you're cooking, you're doing this, but what are you doing from this to this time? I said, I don't know. They said, then do the mock. So I used to do all of that, and by subject, I started gaining the confidence, getting through the coaching calls. The coaching calls are immensely important.
Anand just cleared PMP like 10 minutes ago. Ali have cleared PMP with above target. Congratulations, Raheel, on clearing your PMP in first attempt. You cleared PMP exam with 5 above target. The best thing that anyone can do. 5 above target. Ladies and gentlemen, second student in 3 days, 5 above target.
I didn't expect it that I will get this result. I thought that I will be like target or like above target.
Thanks to you. Without your dedication and guidance, it was impossible for me.
You can see it is clear to you. Above target, above target, above target, above target. Do I have to read film book? Do I have said no? Like whenever he heard like this guy have read 5 times film book so many times, you always get confused and come back to me. I kept on saying him, you are going to clear, just read 1 time. And that's what he did.
So here we are. Saubhi cleared PMP exam with all above target. Today, I want to put something in context and on record. I had more than 18,000 students in my career in project management field. Now it is getting to nearly 20,000, including all mediums. But few students have come that have set apart and that have become a part of my heart. That have become more like a friend, younger brother, and this guy. From the first week he came to me. He joined my one-to-one mentor program. I always talk to him like I am talking my younger brother. And it gave me enormous pleasure to say that he has received all above target in PMP. People above target, process above target, business environment above target. There have been so many challenges in his exam, but he was ready for that. He is a warrior. He is a fighter. Like he reminds me of the old myth, maybe like Hercules, like Achilles, both of them. Like the focus, the sheer focus this guy possesses is just awesome. One of the most intelligent student that I have seen, and one of the most hardworking. Now that's something you don't get every day. People are either talented and people are either hardworking. I consider myself more as a hardworking person than as a talented person. But this guy here, he is a extreme hard worker. I will ask him to please share his schedule with us in his journey. Then you will realize what he was doing, what his capability. And it's not just professional or personal about studies. The thing he is doing for his family and all those things, that's just marvelous. That's why I consider him as a younger brother, my friend, and I know this friendship is gonna last for life. So without delaying, Sobi, first of all, congratulations from the entire PMP community. And please share your entire PMP journey with us.
Thank you so much, sir. It was indeed pleasure uh, being a part of this community. Like the people and you especially, you are one of the most passionate and most hardworking teacher I've ever seen in my life. You have a certain aura which makes you believe in yourself, basically, that you can clear the exam. You have that certain aura which not everyone has. Everyone has content, everyone has their courses, but everyone doesn't have that aura. That's something that makes you apart. So I'll just go back few steps and let everyone know how I got connected with you. So in February, so I got my 3 years of project management experience, and I thought that it's better to do it right away rather than waiting for 4 5 years and then doing it. I thought I might just clear the exam if I just give my all, because it's COVID times. I have all the time in the world. At least I don't need to travel. So I did in a different way. What I did was I filed my application first because I was a master's of construction project management. So I was relying on that education qualification to bring me that 35 contact hours. So I filled my application. I just floated to the PMI just to see if I get approved. If I get approved, I'll enroll in a course. I was not going the other way around, which people do. So I got the application approved. I enrolled in a well-renowned coaching center here in Delhi, which is good indeed. But I was going through all the course. I was halfway through, and I came across Amer's YouTube videos. So even though I was going through those classes, I used to sit back in the night and used to watch him. I don't know, there was something that got connected, like the way he used to conduct the coaching classes. And then after 2 days, I was just feeling guilty that I should have enrolled in his course rather than this one. But eventually destined hold, like it held something else for me. So the coaching which I was taking had some issues, and the instructor was suffering from COVID, so they had to take a step back. And the kind of a guy I am, I need everything to be planned. So I had planned that this is where the coaching will finish and this is how I'll prepare and give my exam. And that all was distorted because I thought, now if he's suffering from COVID, he'll not be taking any more classes for a month. So I'm delayed for a month now. So I got so frustrated, and I was looking at Amer's video, and they all were just passing every each day. There were two of the students passing. I was like, shit, I also need to do that. I'm lagging behind. Everyone is going ahead. So I picked up his number off a YouTube video late 1 a.m. in the night, and I wrote a big message, and then I deleted it because I couldn't explain my situation. So I just wrote a small paragraph and told him that if he has time, I might just give him a call so that I can explain him the situation better, because I'm in the middle of like learning half the things and not learning a lot of things. So what he did was, in like within 5 minutes, I was surprised he gave me a call back. Like, he's so passionate, I don't even know. And he just gave me a call and he talked like a friend to me, and he said that you don't worry, you take deep breaths. This Okay, you tell me the situation. I told him a situation, and he gave me options, and I chose one and said, okay, now we'll start from this week. And I had the best sleep of my night that day, because I knew that there's someone who is supporting me, and I'll get the similar experience which I usually see on the YouTube, but more interactive, because now he's talking to me. So I started with him, and the way he teaches, it's like the content
Recording
he
in
has
progress.
is the most precise content you'll ever get in PMP. I can bank on that. I can sign a formal deed on that. You'll go to any courses. I've met many people in my firm who have done PMP, and the amount of things they have read is unmatchable. And if you see the hard work to the passing ratio, it's nothing. So the thing you're getting here is absolutely precise. So the things you learn to the core, but you learn what is needed for the exam. And then slowly he tried and pushed me. He used to push me every day. I had a lot of problems. I have a lot of problems. So I work for an Australian firm, and I need to wake up. I'm in India right now, working from home. So I need to wake up 3 in the night, work from 4 in the morning to 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And then my family also suffered with COVID cases. So my father had COVID, everyone. So I had to take care. I have to cook as well. So I became a good cook as well. And and fortunately, he never used to push me that hard, but he used to push me enough that I could really extract the time which I have to the studies. So he was pushing me every day that, oh, what are you doing from this time to this time? Okay, I understand you're cooking, you're doing this, but what are you doing from this to this time? I said, I don't know. I said, then do the mock. So I used to do all of that, and by subject I started gaining the confidence, getting through the coaching calls. The coaching calls are immensely important. I've had bad days when he used to tell me that you didn't do it well and you need to practice more. I had good days when I had given answers and they were correct. But that all is a part of learning. That all is a part of learning, and he knows, he has, I don't know how much brain capacity he has, like he knows each and everyone where they stand exactly, where they stand. Like he knows that what I've done yesterday, he knows what I need to do today. He knows that he's what he's going to teach me tomorrow. So he knows everything, and that's something that he tailors according to students, and students feel that it's they go into self guilt. Like if someone who's pushing me to do it and I'm not doing it, I need to do it because he's pushing me. So I started doing all of that, and he gave me mocks per mocks per mocks per mocks. I did around 16 mocks, all with different experiences. I'll get to how it compares to PMP exam, but they were all important. In bold letters, they are very, very, very important because the things you learn, it somehow helps in the PMP exam, but not exactly, but it somehow does. It sets your framework of thinking, how to think. So I went through all of that. Then I thought of booking my exam, and the day came when Amer sir was telling me that you need to give the exam. Like he's telling you guys now. So he was telling me that you need to give the exam. It's getting delayed, and you'll lose the track. And then I got panicked, and I booked an exam because the way I do, I like giving the exam in a sentence because I feel more focused. eh, like at home I feel like I'm feeling lazy, like it's my room. I know I feel lazy because I've given 16 mocks here, so I feel very lethargic sitting in the same place. So I booked an exam, and I was happy. It was 7 days after I confirmed with Amir sir. He was fine. He was saying, okay, we'll start doing mocks. And within 3 days, a email came in saying that the center you booked has been brought to a containment zone, and you can't give the exam there. So I said, oh my God, then I need to now buy a laptop because I have a professional laptop, which for obvious reasons won't allow me to do any of those exam through that computer because it has admin rights. So I bought a laptop uh, because I was so desperate. I bought a laptop within a day, and I booked the exam again for the same day. For the same day, I booked the exam, and I gave I was approaching the exam when Amer gave me very important tips and tricks how to approach the exam. He gave me a call a day before. He sent me a voice notes. He said told me to sleep enough. He gave me all the tools and techniques to pass the exam. And when the day came in, and I sent him a voice note just before the exam saying that I am like I'm all over the place. I don't know how would I do it. I started panicking. I started panicking because I knew that there would be a problem, but there was none, no technical issue. But I had an issue with time, which I'll come across. I never had an issue with time as much as I had in PMP exam. I had some issues out of 16 mocks. I had two of the mocks where I had time issues, not that much. But PMP, I somehow like it. It somehow it panicked me for the first time. The first 10 questions panicked me somehow. So the first 60 question I took 85 minutes. Usually I take around 80 minutes. The first set of questions usually take me 80 minutes, and then I take 75. But this one took me 85, and I was still calm. I went for my 10-minute break. I sent a voice note to Amir sir, and then came back for my second one, and I gave that 85 minutes again. So I had only 60 minutes left for my last set of 60 questions. That's when I thought I'm gone. I can't do it because I've never seen me doing 60 questions in 60 minutes in any of the mocks. So I went back and I said, I need to call him. Hope he picks up. And he picked up. He picked up my call and he said that you take deep breath, nothing will go wrong. Nothing will go wrong. You just need to finish your exam. You finish your exam, don't leave any questions, and you just do it. And that gave me a sigh of relief, actually. So I went back, I take some deep breaths. I chucked a shot of coffee, and said, okay, I'll just do it. And then I did it somehow. I managed to do the 60 questions in 60 minutes. And when that timer was going in and my heart was beating, I was saying, shit, if it doesn't show me that I'm passed, Amir sir will kill me. And it showed. I passed and I sent him, and he said that I knew from the first day that you will pass. And just like he says, like, I am his elder brother. I literally feel that he's more than my brother, because he has taken me to this roller coaster ride. He's pushed me apart. Nobody else could have done it, not even my parents. Even if my parents told me that you can do it, I wouldn't have believed it. But it was Amer sir, so I thought that I may have the capabilities of doing it.
Thank you saying that. Now it was an interesting journey. He's kind enough to give me some a lot of credit, not some. I would like to put something in the context for everyone. You see, guys, this is especially for those people, the team who's sitting in front of me. All of them are hard worker, and all my PMP community, they're hard worker. But for those people who think that we cannot give exams, we have job, or we have family, or we have kids. Here is a guy here is a guy who works full time in an international multinational company, and his working hours are odd. Actually, he works at 2 a.m. in the
I,
morning.
s- I Yeah, I wake up at 3, start at 4, finish at 1, then have to cook.
Yeah, you see,
Then yeah,
yeah, his routine. Just look at his routine. He has to cook for his father, first for himself, then for his father. Then his father is basically suffering from COVID. He need to make sure father and mother, like, there has to be a quarantine for both of them. And in the meanwhile, I remain safe. I don't want to get sick because he's the only child in all this trouble. Adding fuel on the fire was when his exam was cancelled. Because from the first day, he had this same line: I'm not going to give exam in the home. I don't want to give exam in home. And then one of my students whose exam was basically cancelled because of his laptop. So once he shared in the coaching call that this has an issue, so Sobi was 100% like, no, impossible. I'm not gonna give exam in home. I can't take this risk. But I always says, human have plan, he has plan. So Bhagwan, God has some other plans for him. Maybe they wanted to give him some more courage. And just few days before the exam, his exam was cancelled. And it's not that the exams are being cancelled in India. On the same day, like 2 days before, Machinder, Sanjana, other people give the exam, and same day one student give the exam in India. But his exam, his center, that got cancelled. Whatever the lesson was, he worked and he really worked very hard. And I'm sure he's gonna get the best career that the world has to offer. Now, Sobi, coming to you have already talked about exam. Now, can we talk about more of your exam strategy, your study strategy that other student can use and they can implement that in their own PMP?
yeah. So when I joined Amir sir, so the way he used to do it, topic wise, knowledge area wise, and then giving the 50 questions, I was doing all of that. The only key thing what I was doing is I had a small notebook where I used to write the things which kept on coming in, and I used to do it wrong. Like, there are certain things which every mock question has, and there's a certain way of answering that question. So, for example, for the first mock, I used to think that I'm just giving an hypothetical example. If the project charter is something that is prepared by the sponsor, and he signs it and gives authority to project manager, I had an opinion that it cannot be shared with the stakeholders because it has sensitive content. So I used to go with that mentality. But I saw questions coming in and the reasoning coming in that it can be shared. So I made that note down on my diary that it has to be shared. So that changed my mindset. So it wasn't too much, but I had like 10, 12 pages, which is a condensed form of all the 16 mocks. So there were few things which I used to write, which used to keep coming in different set of mocks, different authors, but the way of answering that question was the same. So I used to write that down so that on the last day I just refresh my memory so that I'd fine tune, because the way I think may not be right, but the way the question needs to be answered is this way. So I need to fine tune it. So I read those 12 things, those 12 pages, and trust me, out of those 12 pages, like half of the things, it sort of the mentality matched in the PMP exam. It does match. So it's not like you do the exam, you'd review it, but you can't remember all the 180 questions you have reviewed. There'll be 10 questions which you think that this is something that I wouldn't have even answered if I had the book opened. So those are the things which I write it down so that I remember those the last day. And that is exactly what it helped. And plus the slides which Amer sir gave, that and the journey is like is the only thing which will make you pass. Even if you don't write what I'm telling you to do, not advising you to do, even if you don't do that, you just go through the slides. Each and every word on that slide is meant to be there for some reason. It's meant to be there. I've realized it through the 16 mocks. Like there are certain things which are not on the book, not on there, but it's on the slide somehow. So all that has been prepared on the slide is for some reason. So there might be some slide which you think that, oh, I haven't heard of this thing anywhere in the mocks or on the PM mock or wherever you've studied before, but it's there for some reason and it'll help you to clear the PMP exam.
Okay, okay. So we now this is one of the most important thing. What just Sobi explained in project management term. Let me put it this: for after every mock, he used to have a sprint retrospective, and in retrospective, you find out what are the processes need to improve, what are the in the people area, what are the things in business environment you need to improve, and he was in the hybrid environment, so he made a lesson learned register to make sure that all those lessons can be implemented in the next mock. That is one of the best strategy for root cause analysis. So if you remember, when you start doing mock, you were always like, it takes 4 hours to do the mock and 8
Yeah,
that root cause analysis. You said me, should I don't do root cause or move away? And my answer was, no, no, no. It is
no,
supposed to be like this. If
I-
mock
yeah,
4 hours, root cause will take 8 hours, but not after 5 mocks.
correct. I never used to fear the mocks. I used to fear the review because the review takes like more than a day to review, especially the prepcast one. It takes more because it has more reasoning to each option, so it takes more time. I never used to fear the mocks because mock you just you're engaged, but on the review you know that, oh, this is wrong, but you have to read it somehow, you need to make notes, you need to go back where the reference is. But that all will help. I'm telling you that all will help. I'm not saying that you need to make a book or a note for every question. You'll get to know, you realize it, you'll feel it that this is the question which is really important, and you wouldn't have even answered it correctly if the book was open. So these are things which you need to close the gaps. That's all.
That's an important thing. Now let's come to the straightforward to the most of the time. I am seeing this again coming in the exams or like in many WhatsApp group, many Facebook group. Which mocks? Now you did actually all the mocks in the market. Okay, like so what do you think which mocks more relate to the real exam?
uh, if In my opinion, holistically,
Okay.
none of them,
Why?
but if I need to choose one of them that's closest to even the language of the PMP exam, it has to be prepcast.
Prepcast. So still Prepcast has that crown that their language is no, near to most near.
Yeah,
What about tried?
I'll add sorry, I'll just add on the prepcast one. So the language, the question language of the prepcast and the PMP exam, if you compare it, it was PMP exam was much a simpler language than prepcast. Prepcast has this flow of like introducing a complex thing and then bringing in the question. With PMP exam, this is one of the things which I noticed in prepcast. I was doing so many mocks, so I knew the first line is the introductory line. I used to go on to the second one and start reading very focusedly. But on the PMP exam, even the first line was really important. It
Oh,
had some hints. It had some hints which you can't miss. So you can't just go on to the second part of the question, start reading and thinking the first line is just introductory. You need to still read the first line because
okay.
it has some hints, but it's simpler. It's simpler language in PMP exam, but it's tricky. The options are very tricky.
Options are very tricky. I have heard the same
Yeah.
feedback from many of the students. Now, what about tried it? Because in my opinion, in actually 2020, and not in my opinion, the feedback from students were like Because TriDip is kind of more difficult than Prepcast. The language is not the same as the exam.
I, it's the other way around. I felt the option choices TriDib had is similar to PMP exam, while the question language is similar to Prepcast.
This, this means, in your opinion, PMP aspirant, if he can afford, he should buy both of them.
Correct. Because TriDip's options are much trickier. For Prepcast, you can easily eliminate two of them. You're down with two. In PMP exam, majority of the questions you could only eliminate one, and there were three still lying there, and you were thinking between those three.
Okay.
So the options were tricky, and that was aligning to TriDip one.
Okay. That, because you did Andrew Ramdayal, Wagday, my mock, and these mocks. So I am more interested in these two mocks because I do give this to all of my students as like final thing. Okay. So let's talk more about now real exam. You already shared about the timing thing. Just to add on something, your starting process with the exam went smoothly.
All the check-in procedures were very smooth. They
Hmm.
were very helpful. They was very pretty quick. The only thing which I encountered was uh, uh, there's a small bar which comes at the top where it shows your face, it shows the chat, it shows the whiteboard. So that is distracting because that's in the middle of the screen, right at the top. It doesn't go up. It's not a drop down thing. It doesn't go up. It stays there. So that was something which was which sort of freaked me out a little bit, and it took me a little while to get used to that format. And that's the reason the first set of question took me long, because I was reading it, it was not absorbing, it was just distracting, all of those formats. So just be prepared. One of the tips I would give is, if you're giving from home, there's a test of the test of the system they do. So when they do a system check, you download a small version of that software, so it gives you that feel that how would the questions and the format will look like, the screen will look like when you give the real exam. So just maybe take 5 or 10 minutes just to absorb that how would the screen look like, because on the exam day it just pops up and then you're just out of your place.
Yeah, that's a good thing to say. Like,
So basically वो mic test.
okay. Okay, so Sobi, that's a good input. Let's talk more about the exam. Now, exam, which area were more dominating? Agile, you are a strong predictive guy, not only in your profession, but also in your life. As you said, I like to make detailed plans. So you're a
Plan.
strong
Yeah.
predictive guy. So, in your opinion, the exam was more towards agile or predictive?
I would say it was 50-50, sir.
50-50.
I've seen people saying that it's more, but I felt it's 50-50. It's still 50-50. They were predictive questions. The key there is there is no sort of a keyword or hint on the question that it's predictive or hybrid or agile. For me, I looked at every question thinking it's hybrid.
But that's the best strategy.
I Yeah,
That's the
I
best.
looked at there, but the options is something that will make you clearer whether it's hybrid, it's predictive, or agile. Because if all the options are predictive, then obviously the question is predictive. If only one option is agile and the rest three predictive, then there is only one option left. Either that one option is correct or the three options, one of those are correct. So we go back to the question.
Makes sense.
But
Great. That's an awesome.
but majority of the questions, 50, I felt it's 50-50. It was 50-50.
Okay, let's talk now about agile. If someone knows four values of agile, 12 principle, Scrum framework, Kanban basics, Lean basics, just knowing the crystal yellow green, and maybe XP basic, is it enough?
Sir, this is something that I was planning to say on the coaching call. I was just thinking that day when I gave the exam that if someone hasn't read Agile Practice Guide, he'll still pass the exam. You don't need to read the Agile Practice Guide. You don't need to learn the terminologies. You don't need to know what is fishbowl. You don't need to know what is remote pairing. You don't need to go into too deep of technicalities. If you know on a helicopter overview what are four principles, the mindset, the principles, and what is XP, what are the terminologies used in XP, what is does it do, you don't need to know. what does Kanban do, what does this task board does. That's all. There's no need for someone learning agile practice. I've seen nil questions testing on if you have read agile practice and do you know it deeply or not. None.
So now understanding the framework is enough.
Correct. If that video that you have on the YouTube, the Scrum framework and everything that you need to know for agile, the video, that's more than enough. Only 1 hour of whole your preparation towards that video, you're done for the agile. You're done.
That's good to know about agile thing. Okay, now let's talk about one of the most fascinating topic, stakeholder. So how the stakeholder was tested in your exam?
uh, I would say the people part of it was majority dominated by resources rather than stakeholder.
Really?
Majorly it was resources. A lot of issues with the resources, that this issue with the resource, the skilling issue with the resource, absenteeism with the resource. Stakeholder, they were, if I say people is 100%, so out of that 70% was resource and 25% was stakeholder and only 5% was communication.
Okay. It means the still the people area, stakeholder, communication resource, all of them important. In like most of the students say stakeholders were more. In your exam, resource were more. So it can be anything from any for anyone. That's a good thing to know. Okay, what about risk and quality and procurement?
Quality, I didn't get much questions.
Okay.
Procurement, like if I say quality, I got only 2-3 questions.
Okay.
Risk, I got one drag and drop where there was scenarios and they were like the risk responses, very easy, drag and drop, they were easy. And on the procurement, there were a lot of questions on procurement. On the vendors, there were a lot of questions with the agile and how the contract works and where would this be, the closing and stuff that was there.
Okay. What about compliance? What are any questions regarding compliance?
None.
None. Okay. So what about scope, schedule, cost?
Yeah, scope, there were 4-5 questions straightforward. If they know the journey videos of yours, it's done. Schedule, they were schedule and cost, they were more related to SPI, and they were straightforward. There were no issues with that.
Okay.
4-5 questions there, 4-5 question on the cost.
Critical path?
None. Zero questions.
So that's a good thing to know because one student had 2 questions on critical path and that kept me worrying like maybe now PMI is moving. Now our favorite topic, change request.
Change requests, they were questions and they were linked to stakeholders more. So that 25% which I told you, out of that 100% people, they were more related to stakeholders on the change request. And the and the stakeholder and the change request journey that you had, one for customer and one for the general stakeholder, is the key to solve all those questions.
Okay. Okay. That is.
And the documents, the project documents that you have, all the documents that you need to know, that's important to solve those change request questions.
Okay. Okay. So we now how many questions were drag and drop?
One was risk, like I told, the risk responses and the situations. The second one was interpersonal skills. Like there were situations and then there was interpersonal skill, and then you need to say which interpersonal skill was used here.
Okay.
And then there was earned value management, those terminologies like trend analysis or variance.
You know.
Yeah. So earned value terminologies and what does it really help with? So those drag and drops.
Okay.
And then there were agile methodologies, like there were different agile framework, and then there was a situation that the teams are using, so you need to match which framework did you use.
Okay.
And the last one was project documents. So there were project documents, and then you need to say that, oh, what's the use of this document?
So knowing the same thing, knowing all plans and 33 document is still the key for your PMP exam, and you must know. Okay. So how is there any graph question where you have to select hotspot?
No. There were graph questions. There was a burn down chart question, but none to select a point over the graph.
Any fill in the blanks?
No fill in the blanks.
How many were questions with more than one option to select?
Two questions, 2 or 3 questions to select 2 options.
Okay, two or three questions, select two options. Okay, so that's it from my side, guys. If you have any question from Sabi, is more than happy to answer. You can raise your hand and you can ask a question. Meanwhile, Imran wrote something. Imran said that, oh, I'm a certified PMP last 2 months under Amer Ali sir guidelines. Please follow his guidelines. Thank you. And nothing is impossible in his mentorship. I'm honored that Imran you said that. Wish you good luck for all. Attend coaching calls. Very important. And make root cause analysis for more. That's a must thing.
Very important.
Both of them, even if you are not my student, this is very important thing. Yes, Sibash, you can ask the question.
Yeah, so we just wanted to know, like, how did you go about the preparation, like, training and all this fine, like your self preparation, like, what did you do, like, if you could just tell a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. So I used to go through what the material Amir sir gave me by knowledge area wise, and I used to do the 50 questions, the
Mhm.
root cause analysis. I used to write 1 or 2 things which I keep forgetting or I do wrong, and then I
Mhm.
move on to the next knowledge areas. So when I did all of that, I started doing the mocks. So when I started doing the mocks, I started identifying and it got exposed the areas which I was missing and I didn't read properly on his slide. It isn't something that it's not on the slide. It was, but I didn't read it. I
Okay.
thought that it's something that is maybe additional information. I might not need it, but it's needed. I got to know by solving those questions. So
Okay.
my preparation in a condensed format, like I said, was just one small notebook with 12 pages, writing things down which I think are I keep forgetting, and it keeps repeating on the mock. Like I gave the example of the project charter. Like there is another example I would just float in is like when there's an escalation thing, it needs to go through the communication management plan.
Mhm.
So this sort of things is something that keeps repeating. It doesn't depend on the author. It has to be this way. So I
Okay.
used to write all of that because these are the golden rules. Like if there's an escalation issue, you just forget everything. You just go to communication management plan.
Mhm. Okay.
So
Yeah.
these are things I wrote it down so that when I see some of these questions, I pick up the keyword. Okay, escalation, that means it's communication management. It brings into my mind. That's why I wrote those down.
Okay.
Okay,
Good, good.
Sabi.
Otherwise, if
Thank
I
you.
just review it, I might
Mhm.
forget it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for sharing the
Thank
No
you, Sibash.
information.
problem.
Thank you, Sabi. Sabi, first of all, can we share that 12-page document? I would be sharing that with the group. And second thing, make a plan of it if you had time, maybe in a week. If you can share that document with the class in maybe in a coaching
Oh
call
yeah, yeah.
and explain those things. I really like the way because I do like these shortcuts. Like if there's an escalation, do that. If this is a team issue, do
Correct.
that. So you have made that by doing the 16 mocks. Whenever you are ready, maybe 1 hour, you can share with everyone basically how they can use that document in their preparation. That would be great.
No problem. Yeah, I can make a soft copy of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can make a soft copy and then you also share it. It will just take few time and
Okay, no problem, sir.
and
Yep.
I will upload it. Make this thing simple. I will upload it.
No problem, sir.
Okay.
No problem, sir.
Okay. Anyone else has any questions, Nigdha?
This time my question asked by Sibashish. So I am not asking anything.
You sure, Signa? You don't have any questions?
No, I already know your journey. We used to talk, so I know about how you were preparing and
And
all.
Okay.
Now Sobi need to assist many aspirants because many of people through batch 7 and through coaching call has become his friends. So this is the power of basically, in my opinion, the one of the thing that is the power of coaching call community is that everyone, like we have Faisal here from batch 9, we have Wahab here from batch 7. Okay, then we have people here from 1 to 1, majority of them are for 1 to 1. Then we have people here from batch 1 also, some of them. And so all the people coming together and sharing all these things, it becomes a community. So if anyone has no question, we can call it a day. Okay, I guess no one has any. Okay, so so no one has any question, so that we can end it. So guys, you know that my rule, Sobi, 1 minute, 1 minute you have. What advice you would like to give for future aspirants that they can implement and
Okay.
pass the exam?
I guess I've told enough, but I know there are people who have told you how to prepare, how to do that. I'll give you a tip which I did just before the exam, which might help you. What I did was just 15 minutes before the exam, or maybe if you're giving center, maybe half an hour. I've given different exams. I know that when you have something to read and absorb and try to analyze, the first 4 5 questions takes time. You build that momentum, the brain starts to crank up, and that's after 10 questions you start reading it quickly and you start absorbing it. To head give me a head start on that, I opened Prepcast and I did 10 questions of it just 15 minutes before my exam. I opened the Prepcast and I did 10 questions so that I can read. I'll start reading quickly. So the first question I see, I can start reading quickly. So that's what I did. Maybe it'll help you, maybe it not, but that has helped me in different exams as well.
Now, Sobi, I'm gonna normally I don't comment on what people have to say as a fun advice, but I'm gonna comment on it. A very dangerous thing to do. A very dangerous thing to do. Why? Okay, positive point, you put it. I can put another positive point. You get 10 by 10, you are happy. What if you get, because you were not feeling confident, what if you get 2 out of 10? Then your
Sir, I'll
level,
tell you what I did.
level of confidence can destroy it.
No,
So
no, sir, I'll tell you what I did. I never clicked the end exam. You
that
never know the result.
that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. That I agreed. That thing
Yeah.
I agreed. But the negative side, if you click the end and you see, okay, you are tense, you are unable to do it, but the level of confidence you will get after that, dangerous thing. So what they say in my language, I'll put it there. जब नकल करनी होती है तो अक्ल जरूर इस्तेमाल करती है. So when you are gonna copy someone, do use your own brain and tailor your approach. So when you are using SOBI method, be make sure that you are that kind of person, because 90% of the trainers, not me, 90% of the trainers recommend that you don't study at all anything on your exam day or maybe even a day before. In my opinion, not focus so much on the last day, but whatever works for you. That is the reason why I don't give my opinion and I let the PMP aspirant. So we have just calculating the number of journeys we have uploaded. I think your one will be almost, when I will upload it, 130th journey. So we have received 130th student experience. Many students don't like to share, so we don't put there. We have more students than that, but the thing is that we have 130 students sharing their experience of real exam. If anyone can watch maybe 5 minutes or get their experience, in my opinion, that is the most valuable thing out there for PMP exam, because PMP certified PMPs are sharing your journey with you. With that, thank you very much everyone for your time. Thank you, Sobi, for sharing such a great
No
detail.
problem.
And Sobi, I wish you best of luck. And I'll get back to you on that sharing of those questions. We'll decide when to do. Because I want you to relax.
Okay, sir.
First few days relax, then get back. Okay, thank
It still hasn't sunk in, sir. It still hasn't sunk in that I've passed in.
you.
I still feel that there is something that I need to do,
It
and then
takes
it keeps coming in that I've passed the exam. There's nothing to do.
it takes time. It's like, it's more like, if I put in our local culture context, it's more like winning the World Cup, cricket World Cup, and we still think, no, no, we are still playing. We are still playing. Something like that. Okay, Sobi, thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Hello YouTube, what's up? It's Amer Ali here. Thank you very much for watching this video. I am so grateful that you watched this video and I hope now it has added value into your PMP journey. If you have any question at any time, you can ask me on this number or email me. I will love to answer you. And if you have not subscribed please click the subscription button so that I can help you in a better way. My commitment to YouTube is going to increase. I'm going to upload more coaching calls, more journeys, and more posts. So do join this journey and become certified PMP in less time.